What's going on, everybody? It's just another day in the kitchen, back with another episode. And in today's video, we're taking a look at none other than Playboi Carti, aka King Vamp, and some merch that may or may not be releasing in support of his upcoming album, I Am Music. Now, before we get started, I want to give a special shout out to the homie Strain Beats, who's been cooking up the beats for these videos, so make sure you guys check him out. And while you're here, you might as well drop a like and subscribe, and join our free Discord to stay up to date with the latest and the greatest. Shout out to all of my chefs in there. Now, today's video was inspired by some Carti merch that surfaced at this past weekend's 2024 Summer Smash Music Festival, hosted by none other than Cole Bennett and Lyrical Lemonade. And in addition to an insane headlining set on Friday by Travis Scott, Carti would team up with his Opium label and perform just yesterday, while also providing our first look at some new merch in 2024. And as you can tell from the following photos, the merch that was available retailed for $55 and was seemingly a commemorative piece for this legendary performance in Chicago, with the date of the performance alongside the now iconic Opium logo located on the front left breast pocket. Now, while I personally feel this piece of merch is a bit weak considering this is the start of a potential comeback, I do have to say it got me thinking about the other pieces of merch we've seen since the beginning of this rollout last year. So I wanted to take a look at some of the other unconfirmed Opium pieces that we've seen, starting off with Carti's hair braider and hairstylist here wearing the following t-shirt. And although we haven't heard a ton of new information, because come on, this is Carti and he's gotta be all mysterious, we have seen the following Opium tee, spotted several times being worn by a member of Homicide Gang in the form of Homicide Mally here, and I apologize if I butcher his name, but it is what it is. And while there's not a whole lot going on with the tee itself, and I personally don't wear white, I think that this is very in line with the aesthetic that we've been seeing in this post Whole Lotta Red era. Now, additionally, while going through Opium, which was Playboi Carti's Finstagram, I also came across the following black Opium tee. And while some fans would argue whether or not the following screenshot was legitimate or not, I'm gonna go ahead and show you a couple of pieces throughout the rest of this video that may verify that this one actually might be real. Starting off with the following Opium phone case that I also found while researching Playboi Carti's Finstagram, which leads me to believe that that $45 case that we see in the screenshot might actually be this one right here and may actually be future merch. Now, next up we have the following crop hoodie seen modeled by Luka Sabat, and as you can tell from the screenshot, it's advertised as retailing for about $180. Now, while some fans speculated whether or not this was actually going to be a piece of the merch in the rollout, I also did find this video of Playboi Carti wearing the same music crop hoodie, so I really want to believe that this one is actually going to be a piece of merch that eventually releases. And as far as my favorite piece of unreleased Carti merch that may or may not be related to this upcoming album and rollout, it's definitely gotta be the following hoodie, which was first spotted last year in 2023. And while the logo and branding are very reminiscent of Playboi Carti's Narcissist logo and clothing line, I definitely want to believe that these are some of the items that we should be seeing along with this new album. Now, additionally, this guy that was given these gifts also posted the following Playboi Carti related double cup, which may or may not be related to the following screenshot, as well as the following double cup candle, which was one of the novelty items and pieces of merch that we saw first released with Whole Lotta Red in 2020. And while we haven't seen any merch yet related to this, and this may be a reach, I do want to acknowledge and point out that Carti has been spotted wearing some heavy motocross related themes in his outfits and aesthetics, and we've also seen the following Opium label mates such as Destroy Lonely also wearing some Alpine Stars related gear, so we may be seeing some themes and aesthetics of this motocross related type of clothing, if that makes sense. Now, with all that being said, and despite him dropping a couple of new songs about half a year ago, the ball is back in Carti's court, and it remains to be seen whether or not this fool is actually going to drop this new album and some new merch. And while I've been following Carti throughout his entire career, and this is obviously nothing new, I do have to say I'm getting some fatigue, and I think teasing the fans is definitely getting a little old, so if you feel the same way, let me know in the comments. And don't even let me get started on how big of a failure and letdown that Antagonist tour was. Now, while I know mystery is always a big thing with Carti and his career and whether or not he's going to drop this or that, one thing I do know is always a good sign is when the artist is spotted wearing their own merch. And if you're looking for some more Carti related content and you want to learn more about the controversy surrounding the merch he was wearing in the following photo, I'll go ahead and link that one in the description. Now, as always, if you guys made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching, and I'd love to know what you guys think about this one in the comments. I think I speak for all Carti fans when I say this dude needs to drop the album as soon as possible, and for his own sake, I hope that the album actually lives up to the hype. However, I get the feeling that even if it flops, he's already at a point where he's bigger than his own music, so he'll be just fine. Now, as always, guys, thank you so much for cooking with the kitchen. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Remember to stay safe out there, and as always, remember, it's lit, straight up, and peace.